And hi. Oh my gosh, 50 people in the room. Thank you all so much for joining me on this Monday in the middle of the day. Those of you who are at work, put your headphones in. We're about to have a good time. Are 50 people in the room? Hopefully, there are 50 thumbs ups. 55 people in the room. All right, we got people coming in. I like to give a little spacer in the beginning because people may have gotten the notice, they may have not gotten the notice. Maybe they got the notice when I actually start, not when I schedule it. I don't know. I don't know what happens on y'all's internet. You know what I'm saying? So we have our brand new season of 90 Day Fiancé. I already have couples that I am interested in seeing their storyline, couples that are filler, not interested in seeing their storyline, and we still have to meet, I think, 4 more couples. I mean, but do we really need to meet Benny and Ari? We don't. So I feel like I probably won't talk about them until the wine gets thrown. Maybe not that bad. Maybe not that bad. But hello to everyone that's in the room right now. We've got Jasmine, we've got Mickey, we've got JW, Joy, we've got Creative Cootie is what I was gonna say. No, Creative QT. We've got Beastmaster, Kimberly, Ernestine. Ernestine, I haven't seen you in a minute, girl. How you doing? Missy, Gigi, Nia, Caitlin, Tammy. Some names I haven't seen. Doris, Jen. Woof. Y'all showed up and you're showing out right now. Thank you so much for your patience. Connie, hey girl, hey. Halima, I have a cousin named Halima. So just little, like, here's this. So my parents were married in 1976 as Nation of Islam Muslim. Okay. So I have a Malik in the family. I've got a Shaeeda in the family. There is an Aisha and Aida. There's a Halima. At some point, somebody thought that my name was Arabic, which it is. So they weren't wrong. But I have a cousin who her middle name is supposedly my name, but my uncle did not ask. He just named his child Wahima, because that is how that side of my family pronounces my name, Wahima. Let me tell you how they spelled Wahima. Y Hema. My name is Wahima. Okay. It is not Wahima. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a little backstory. It's telling me that my connection is not stable, which is so unfortunate. So unfortunate. But anyways, let me spell it for you. So Wahima versus Wahima. I just need you to settle into that. Settle into it. Thank you, Halima. Thank you so much. Okay, we're almost at 100. When we get to 100, I'll get started. 96 people in the room. I hope that there are 96 likes. That is what I do hope. Christina Robertson, hello. Hard to know. Hello. Hello. Thank you so much for being so generous. Hard to know. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Mazcat, Mitch, never seen you before. Hello. Daphne, hi. Lily, hello, Lily. Becky, hi. Dion, hello. Linjay, Abigail, Bianca, Summer of Dragonfly. Uh-oh. Sorry. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Danny, hey girl, hey. How's the baby? All right, let's get started. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated. Oh, I'm gonna show this last. Sorry, ooh, I was bad at that. Let's try it again. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated. Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé, Season 9, Episode 1, Mustard to Ketchup, or something like that. That was something that Jabri said in his segment about their wedding photos, and I have so much to say. You know what? I'm not even gonna I'm just gonna jump into them because, first of all, Jabri knows what he's doing. Jabri knows what he is doing. He said, you know what, I'm gonna get on this show because I have several things to promote. My style, my band, and the fact that I'm a carefree black South Dakotian. Okay. He serves looks every single time we see him. Even when we see him mowing the lawn, a look is being served. Okay. And I need for everybody to recognize the looks that Jabri is serving. So let's get a photo of them up on the screen. Jabri and Miona. Oh, do I not have a picture of Jabri and Miona? I mean, those are the pictures that are just going around the internet. I guess I'm just so upset with the amount of blackfishing that Miona is doing that I have a hard time. Oh yeah, I don't have a picture of them. So we're just going to go one at a time. Guys, let's get the notes out. The blackfishing is crazy to me. It's crazy. It is. I'm not going to argue about it in the comment sections. You can fight me if you want to, but it is crazy, the blackfishing that person is doing. And I get it to a certain extent. She's a foreigner. She doesn't understand what's happening right now culturally in the United States. You know, Black people are fly AF. You know what I'm saying? And there's a movement right now for folks to be racially ambiguous and leaning towards, you know, the thick lips, thick butt, thick thigh, you know, thing that Black women have been put down for years. But okay, so let me get off that and let's just start it. So we've got Jabri. He's from Rapid City, South Dakota. He considers himself the jester, the clown. He was always the one to tell the jokes. He referred to himself as a black duck, which must be some kind of weird Midwestern saying. I don't know what that means. Is it like the black sheep? Did he mean to say black sheep and he said black duck instead? I don't know. Okay. But I just felt for Jabri. When Jabri talked about how he was one of the only people of color or Black people in this town, and then he referred to his mother. He's like, my mother is a beautiful biracial woman. And I was like, that biracial woman, though, she considers herself Black. Not, I mean, with that hair, that biracial woman is leaning into the Blackness. He doesn't know his biological father because his parents had him when he was very, very young. His mother is a therapist. She's a professional. She's married to Brian, I think his name is, and that man has raised Jabri since he was 6 years old. I loved seeing this family dynamic. The mother is Rachel Dolezal. Like, let's just call it what it is. This is why I didn't fight the Rachel Dolezal fight, because I'm like, there are Black women out there every day who are fighting for their lives to be considered Black women. And Rachel Dolezal is just like moving through the space, like moving through the space. I'm not mad at Rachel. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I would want to be Black too if I weren't. But this mother, she was like giving Black mama without giving Black mama. And I'll tell you what that looks like going forward. All right, so he has a band. He's the front man for a band called the Black Serbs, you know, which was it supposed to be like Black Serbs because like he's the only Black person and all the rest of people in his groups are Serbian. So he got the name from his good friend David, who was a Serbian refugee when they were younger, and so they became really good friends and they created this movement. They do space punk, which is punk rock mixed with electronic hip hop. And I would like to hear it personally. Okay. I would like to hear it. So let's see. He loves to create a lot of things, specifically and especially music. He's a creative soul. You could see it with the way he dresses himself. I love the fact that him and his best friend David are best friends. He met Miona, who is 23 years old, and he considers her his soulmate. And now this is Jabri being really honest and frank with us. I think that he is so aware of his situation, and we are aware when he is feeling awkward to kind of do anything about it. But he understands that him and Miona only know each other as a vacation bay type situation. So he recognizes that her coming to the US perhaps is going to be a problem. And so he's not like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about this. He and his parents are having these conversations that need to be had. And the mother, being a therapist, is like laying down on the, like laying everything out, you know, talking about she wonders because of Miona's provocative pictures if she's going to be running around the house half naked. And Jabri is like, I don't know why my mom is like low key worried about the way Miona dresses when my mom is from Portland. Like she's from a very liberal city. You know, she's used to going to new beaches. So it just seems really odd that she would like have commentary about the way Miona dresses or not be able to distinguish the like persona online versus what might actually be in this household. And I said, because of your father. Your mother doesn't want a 23-year-old out here in a thong bikini, out here with the tetas showing, because she got a whole man in this house. What do you mean you don't understand why she's questioning things? She don't want this little thing running around her husband, you know, swiveling them hips in front of her husband, shaking them tatas in front of her husband. She don't want any of that. She's like, listen, I'm the only feminine energy that needs to be in this space, okay? This extra feminine, like, I don't want this. I don't want it. Okay. So I was like, you need to. So the parents are asking him, what are you going to do for money? And he's like, listen, I could sell salt to a slug. Okay. I'm a hustler. Mama's like, well, is she a hustler? And he's like, yeah, she knows how to make money, but she also like to spend it. Okay. Here's mom. This is the hairstyle I'm talking about. This woman said, y'all gonna know I'm black. Not only do I have dreads, but I went and got them freshly done. You see them? You see that them parts? I could see her scalp, fresh from the shop, getting them done. Okay. And here's Jabri. Look at him. He said, I'm South Dakotian, bro. Okay. Look at this. Look at this look. I'm South a Dakotian. Look at this look. I am South Dakotian. Look at this look. I am South Dakotian. I loved Jabri. I feel like his girlfriend is problematic, or his fiance is problematic, and I can foresee that I'm not going to like the way she speaks to him. Mama talks about a time where she called him stupid, fully understanding that mother was in the room. And that is an indication of someone who doesn't have home training. And I'm not talking about a generalized idea of what home training is. I'm talking about specifically the Black American idea of what home training is. And that Miona doesn't have it. Now, I don't want to judge her too harshly beforehand, but I am going to. I don't want to, but I shall. She doesn't want this person around her husband. Okay? Look at this person in her natural habitat. Like she has no makeup on. She got some kind of curly perm happening. Maybe that's her natural texture. I don't know. But this, that, I mean, she's giving me at least Afro Latina. Listen, now she comes out and she drops her DNA, and we find out that she's 43% Western African. I'm wrong, and I will eat that. But this, what are those braids? Are those crochet? Did she have somebody do cornrows on her scalp and she interlocked hair through there? I I want us all to really take this in. I want us to take it in. Okay? Let's see what the people are saying. Let's just see what the people are saying. Yep, crochet. Where'd she get that hair from? What they doing in Serbia? Is Serbia still a nation? Yes. I sometimes, with the fall of the USSR, sometimes I forget what countries came out of that, and I think Serbia was one of them. I could be wrong. I thank you, Desiree. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I you know, Renee. Hey, mama. I mean, yes, his name was, every time I think about it, I forget it, but his name was Blake, right? That was his name, Blake. Y'all, May Jabri's mama gave her some hair ideas. I mean, if we come back in one of these episodes and that child has like fake dreads and it's just like crochet, like cornrowed back, listen, we're gonna have problems. Okay. Ramsterdam, hi. So it's problematic. It is problematic. Hopefully, while being on the show, we won't see any of that. We won't see the extra, dark color in the we won't. Hopefully, that is just a phase that was happening in that child's life. Now that she, has done some research, come to the States, maybe she's realizing that like she should just have her natural hair. If that is not her natural hair, perhaps she should go a little lighter on the contour. It's blackfishing. That's it. It's blackfishing. So we have a scene where he's mowing the lawn and he says that he really respects his parents. And so he feels like he's 16 years old again, helping out his dad. Can't figure out how to put the lawnmower on. And listen, I'm right there with you. I wouldn't know what to do either. He calls her and she is in the store shopping and she is like, well, I don't want to live in South Dakota. And he says, my parents were nice enough to allow me to move in so that I could support us because I wouldn't be able to support us in Los Angeles. Okay. So, what would even help more is if when we get married, we just get married in South Dakota. I know you want a beach wedding because it's beautiful. I get it in LA. And I know that's the lifestyle you want. But 6 to 12 months, we have to be in South Dakota because we are having free house and board. Now, I don't know if it's free, but what I'm saying is it's not going to be LA prices. It'll be South Dakota. They will save so much money in South Dakota. And she is like adamantly not into it. And this is a very Powell and Roos situation where one person is like, I would like to come to America and live in a big metropolitan city. And that other person is like, but we could save so much money not there. And it's because the foreigner truly doesn't understand how the US works. Jabri says he hasn't been the best with money because he spent all of that going on vacations and doing all this stuff. And even the mother is like, you have shown her a good time. Does she truly understand what's going to happen? Are you going to be able to support her? And the mother is also like, I hope she don't come over here acting crazy and disrespecting me in my household. I hope she doesn't call you stupid. And then he's like, well, I hope she doesn't call anybody stupid. And the mother's like, you think she gonna call me stupid? I mean, I listen, I want Miona to act up so that I could see good TV. I really do. But is it gonna be like the line the way Yara did it? I mean, guys, because let's admit it, Yara did it. I was ready to not like Yara. I was ready to not like her. And then we got in there and it was like, oh, Yara is our queen. Okay. Sometimes the foreigner women from the Eastern European, sometimes they Anfisa the situation. Sometimes they Yara the situation. Sometimes they Natalie the situation. Sometimes they're crazy like Jasmine. Other times they're Larissa, you know? Where it's like you think that the foreigner girl is going to come here and run amok and be terrible and not understand and be needy and like, and other times they just give you great TV. So I hope that she gives us great TV. I hope that she doesn't come into this woman's house and disrespect her. But that scene where she says, it wasn't in this episode, in the promos, where she says that I'm your family now, I was like, I'm the captain of this ship. Like, I don't like that attitude. And that's the same way Jasmine was with Jasmine and Blake. Like, I don't want to live with your family and I'm your family now. It's like, what is that an Eastern European thing where like you marry somebody and then you like tell them that they no longer need to pay homage or they need to side with you now because, the family needs to go together. It's a two-way street, right? But this needs to happen. Not like this you know? Like, no. Anyways, I think that's all that I had to say about that. I think that's all I had to say about them. What do you guys think? Well, according to Instagram, she's still in South Dakota with him, which she should be, because I'm going to be annoyed if I see pictures. I don't want spoilers, you guys. Like, I don't want them. So I hope that she continues to post like she's in South Dakota, you know? I just hope that she continues that. I don't want to know anything. I want to judge them for what I'm seeing on the TV in front of me. Unless they have racist tendencies, and I need to know that so I could. Okay, so let's move on. Next couple that we are going to talk about are these two, because I got so much to say about Bilal, who's 42 years old from Kansas City, and I don't know how this looks like Shaeeda to me, but he's saying it's Shaeeda. And I'm like shea butter? Is that how you spell shea? I thought it was Shea. Sheeta? Girl, I don't know how they're Shaeeda is how they're pronouncing it. I think I wrote it down phonetically. Let me get to it. Oh yeah, they're the first ones. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about Bilal, who's 42. Bilal was actually raised Muslim as well. Now, I don't know if it's Nation of Islam, but this is what him and his first wife, Shaeeda, which, as you guys know, I love that name. I love the name Shaeeda. I think it's so beautiful. So Shaeeda is his first wife. They were married for 10 years. They've been divorced now for 7 years. And apparently his divorce from Shaeeda really broke his heart. So much to the point where his sister, who neglected to blend her eyebrow concealer, who I love, Nefertari, come on girl, that's a great name too, is like his heart got broken. And I just keep thinking like, what happened? Because they have a good relationship now. Like he's gonna sell her this house, or not sell her the house, but showing her a house to sell to her. And they have 2 kids together. And I just wonder what happened. Because sometimes when people talk about their heart being broken, when they talk about getting divorced, and they mention something about abandonment, or they mention something about, you know, I don't know, something triggered me to go, well, what happened? And I don't want to be all in their business, nor do I want to speculate. But I mean, like, if y'all have a good relationship afterwards, where was it her needs that weren't being met and she asked you and you didn't? And then when she broke up with you, your heart was broken because you weren't mature enough or in a space that allowed you to make the changes necessary to keep your wife? Because sometimes it felt a little bit, maybe because we're not getting Shahida's point of view, but it felt a little bit like he was so heartbroken that he didn't let anybody in. And now Shaeeda is the first person that he's letting in. His sister is crying over it. And I wonder what that relationship between Nefertari and Shaeeda are. Right? But that's neither here nor there. He refers to himself as hood bougie, high maintenance, going beyond the norm. We know what hood bougie is, don't we? And so he says that an example of that is that he listens to Tupac while driving to Whole Foods. And I said, "Oh, you think Tupac is hood?" Oh, when I think of hood music, I think of like DJ Quick. I think of like Snoop Dogg's first album. I think of, whatever 3 6 Mafia be doing. You know what I'm saying? I think of trap music. I don't think of Tupac. Who are you talking to? Like Tupac, as I know the folks labeled him a thug when he was out, but he wasn't. So it's weird that you would say Tupac. Anyways, he was probably just trying to dumb it down for the rest of the world, the rest of the audience. Because for me, I was like, Tupac. Oh my God. So we have Shaeeda. Shaeeda slid into his DMs. She's a yoga instructor, is 37 years old, and is very flexible. I mean, I was actually quite jealous of her flexibility. Quite jealous. She's beautiful. They talked for a while via the DMs, but he wasn't really interested. Now, this is the part that gets me. Is that Bilal is one of these black men who's obsessed with gold diggers. And it's just like a phenomenon that I just don't understand within the community. This idea, like, you want a traditional wife, you want traditional family structure, but the tradition of men paying all the bills and women, not even women, the fathers of these girls, the mothers of these girls, looking for a man who can actually take care of their daughter. That idea you don't want, but you want her to be traditional. Traditional is that women go with men who have money. I'm watching Gilded Age. I have watched all of Downton Abbey. I'm watching Bridgerton. People of that class and the classes below them, the women are always looking for men who have money. It is just what that is. So if you're talking about traditional relationships, then that is a part of it. Bilal is now showing himself and going out of his way to be a fool on national TV. And I get that it's probably for, the storyline. Producers probably worked him up and he was like, yeah, let's do that. That's great. That's great. But to me, it's just a foolish thing to do. So his ex-wife, Shaeeda, wishes him luck because he's quite OCD and he wants to like sugarcoat it and say he's but he's quite OCD. And she is like, well, I wish them all the best because he's really hard to live with. So it's really, really, okay, difficult, but I want the best for them. And he basically set up a boundary with Shaeeda and the kids. And he talked to his kids about her and said that he doesn't think that she's going to change the dynamic. When he's talking to his ex-wife, he tells her that he hasn't really shown Shaeeda any of his lifestyle. And the wife is like, bro, you be on the gram and Facebook stunting. And he's like, no, I don't. And she's like, yeah, you do. So she must know something. And he's like, no, I haven't showed her the house at all. I just sit it behind a white wall, in front of a white wall. And then even Shaeeda makes mention of that. Okay, you're in front of this white wall again. When are you going to show me the apartment or the house? And he is just so like, who hurt him? Who hurt him is what I want to know. And then they also talk about her wanting kids, her being nervous about being a bonus mom and what that's going to look like, but then also her wanting kids. And he says that he's not all the way no with kids, but he's 42 and he doesn't necessarily want to start all over again. So they have to think about it. And baby, to me, that conversation is not something you have with somebody when you have 90 days to get married. Okay. You should have an answer for her right now about that. You should have an answer for her right now about it. And it sucks. He wants somebody who's in it for him and not what he has. Isn't that part of the allure? That is part of the allure. You want something from her and not what she has, but what she has is a banging body, perhaps a kind spirit. She has flexibility. She's got a lot that she's probably bringing to the table. We don't know what exactly that is, but men be so weird about that. It's like that is what adds to your value. And I'm not saying I am not saying in every instance. I'm not saying that I'm looking for a rich man or only date men who make a certain amount. I don't care what anybody makes because I will always do me. I will always do me. But I need somebody who can match me. And a lot of times men go after women who can't match them and then be mad at them when they want the man for financial reasons. It's like if you want someone, it's crazy. So I'm not gonna say that anything that Kanye West does is great, but one day I heard Kanye West like talk about his wife or his ex-wife Kim, and he was so excited that she had the amount of money that she had because he probably is one of these men too who doesn't want women to only go after him for his money. But I mean, like, that's part of your allure. It's part of that. I don't go after men who have money, but I would like somebody who has just as much as me. And I don't have a lot. And I don't think it's asking for a lot. But these men always be going for women who live in, who don't have as much, who don't have good credit, who don't have like, property or savings or a 401k or anything, and then are mad at them or want them to only want them for their personality or some shit. And I'm just be like, what? What? Gold Peach, hello. Not fair to not be upfront with her. I feel like he has been, probably. She probably knows that he's not into it, but he's probably said, like, oh, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. Busola says, why does it have to be either or? Can't people be interested in people who are financially well off and their other attributes? Apparently not. Apparently not. Okay. So he's fluffing that pillow girl several times. His sister Nefertari flies in to support him. She's from Atlanta. He's in Kansas City. So she flies in to help him get her room ready because in their religion they don't have sex before marriage, but there's nothing that they can do about Shaeeda staying in the same house. So Shaeeda has her own room filled with Victoria's Secret, with Prada, with Zara, with lots of bags. Okay, ready for her, but he doesn't want her to be attracted to his wealth. So then why buy her all that stuff? So he has an idea. Oh no, let me go back. He actually tells his sister that Shaeeda has been engaged twice, and that is red flags for the sister. And I guess I just don't know if it's red flags because I kind of don't understand, like, maybe their religion kind of dictates that once you date somebody for a certain time, you get engaged to, show, I don't know. But I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility that Shaeeda could have been engaged twice. It depends on your frame of like like I said, maybe in her culture, maybe in her religion, maybe in her community, maybe in whatever, once you date somebody for a certain time, you get engaged. The most important thing to me is that she didn't actually marry those people. And she's 37. I'm assuming that she's had boyfriends and maybe she got engaged once when she was 24. Maybe she got engaged again at 30. I think that's reasonable, especially if culturally you're supposed to get engaged. And I'm not talking, I don't know what her culture is, right? I don't know. And I'm not talking about culture in a very specific and solid stance. I'm talking about just culture in the way that you move, the way that your family moves, the way that the people you and your family maneuver is just to do that. I mean, very much in certain cultures in the South, right? Like you're supposed to go to school, high school, be a cheerleader, like go to state with football, and then like get married by 23 and start having kids by 24. Like people do that. There's like a momentum, like a cadence that people follow in certain parts of this country that lends to that. So I could see somebody being engaged twice if that is a part of your culture. And that's part of just how you do stuff, So the sister's worried about that, and she actually gets a little teary-eyed when they start talking about how he isn't open for love. And then someone says something about using the 90 days to make a decision, and I think that is a mistake. You should not use the 90 days to make a decision. You should use the 90 days to plan your wedding, because you've already made the decision. If you've put thousands of dollars forth to get this person to the US, why would you make the decision in the US? That's weird. So he decides that he's going to test her. He decides that not only has he not shown her his home for however long they've been talking, and has only let her see a white wall, but he's going to take it even further with a so-called prank. A so-called prank where he's going to take her to his childhood home, which to me is more than just hood bougie, because the fact that his childhood home is still in their family and they still own it and they can still like go live there, is a certain amount of privilege, don't you think? But okay. So He's gonna pick her up in a like van that has been used and you know, like a worker's van. Mainly not, I mean, more than just a worker's van, but also like a van you would still a child in with no windows. And then he's going to take her to his parents' house or the house he grew up in, which is a little run down, right? I mean, it isn't the worst house I've ever seen in my life, but like the cameras choose to pick out certain things in the house that need some repair to let us know like what the environment is. And he wants to play a prank on her and see how she reacts to this. And here's the truth. If you are engaged to somebody and they buy you a beautiful ring and then you know probably have done given you money, probably have sent you gifts, probably when they came to see you you guys had a lavish time, and then you bring them back to a house that's a little run down, the first thing that I would think is why didn't you prepare this house for me? Like maybe the house itself isn't terrible, but you knew I was coming, so why wouldn't you fix that leaky roof? You knew I was coming. Why wouldn't you mow the lawn or water it? Like, it's not about the fact that the house isn't what she expected, but that it needs repairs. And you've moved somebody into a space that you know needs repairs. So, whatever her reaction is, unless she says, I hate this house, like, I don't want to live here, I wanted a lavish house with all white furniture, like, I could see somebody being disappointed. Like he's setting himself up for failure trying to prove something that's stupid. And I hate that that is his storyline. I think that when folks take on this show, they have to kind of think about how they're going to be shown and perceived. Like perhaps this is going to help him in his business. Perhaps this is going to I don't know what. I don't know what this is going to do for his career, right? Maybe his social media presence, maybe him selling houses, maybe X, Y, and Z. But kind of portraying yourself as that guy is, to me, not the best look. But I hope that he gets whatever he wants from this. I am just going to have to rip him up. So I say I apologize, Bilal, to you now. But you made a choice. And so I have to go with what, you know, what's right. So I hate that. He says since his divorce trusting was hard, and so he needs to know that he can trust her. But I also want to know what he did to his wife. Okay, that's what I want to know. What he did to Shaeeda. I agree, Tammy. This is a terrible idea for his brand. Whatever it is that he's trying to build up, this idea is not good. And also, like, go get some therapy for that OCD. And maybe he already is in therapy for it, but like that is not good for anybody. I can't put a cup down and have you come and move the cup. Mm-mm. Okay, let's move on. Oh, let's take a break. Hey guys, how are you? Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Share on any social media platform that you deem fit. Ooh, girl, I forgot the whole beginning of this. Okay. So the next couple that we are going to talk about are Cara and Guillermo, which I'm like, do they call him Memo? Can I call him Memo? Is that inappropriate? Can I call him Memo? I'm gonna call him Memo. Okay. So Cara is 29 years old and she's from Virginia. And when we first see her, she is surrounded by balloons. She says that she's a Jill of all trades. She's a dancer. She was a chef. She was a barista. She was a party girl. She's traveled to and fro. She's never taken anything super seriously. You know, she is just on the move, on the go, living her life. And then she goes to the Dominican Republic for work and she meets Guillermo. He's a server. He comes up to her. He's a cutie patootie. She's with a friend. She thinks it's going to be a one-night stand. It's not. So the job opportunity allows her to stay in Dominican Republic for 8 months. And so she lives with him for 8 months. And then she gets kicked back to the US because of the pandemic. And they have decided to do the K1 process. And she's a little nervous about their relationship, right? Because she's older than him. Not by a lot, but by enough. And it's giving me very much Daniel and Amber from Love in Paradise, where she says that, you know, with Memo, she has to kind of be behind him on stuff because he won't do things if she doesn't push him. And that's exactly the Amber and Daniel situation. Also, Memo's originally from Venezuela, and so was Daniel. So when the economy got bad in Venezuela and there was a lot of infighting, I think a lot of people like left Venezuela for other Latin countries, especially places with high tourism, like Costa Rica for Daniel, for example, and the Dominican Republic. I wouldn't be surprised if Puerto Rico has a large influx of Venezuelans trying to like flee their, bad economy. And so he already had siblings there. So he just kind of like fell into step, was able to make money to send back to the family and do all the things that he, wanted and needed to do. Then he met her, and she says that he is sexy. He's brown, he's got big lips. And then she started like, to me, that was a little like, okay. Then she also says that his granny says that he has big lips too. So if granny says that lips are pillowy and soft, then it's great. And I was like, that is weird. But then she goes to pour some wine, and she does the thing that I do when I go to pour wine. Look, 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 look. Like, I love that part. I have a feeling that Kara and Memo are kind of a filler couple. I don't think that their storyline is going to be real. I think that Kara is very calculated, and she's probably, helped the producers to create her own storyline. I will say that I do love her makeup. She gives like a little slight wing. It's not a full cat eye. It's like a thing that's happening. You know who also does it? Are you guys watching The Ultimatum on Netflix? If you are, I am. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it because it's really hard for me to get through the episodes because sometimes I'm like snooze fest. But that girl, the one who doesn't want to have kids, what was her name? Lauren? Girl, I don't know. She does the same type of makeup style as well as Alina from Alina and Steven. There's just this like flick of the liner, just like a dark liner, just like a flick right there, and it only goes halfway up, and then that's it. I attempted to do it today, but because I'm wearing lashes, you can't really tell. It's really for a natural look. They give a little bit of like an indent of color in the crease so that it outlines and shapes the eye, but then it's just like a little of black. And I need to find a black that is deep enough. Every black liner that I look for is a little shiny, and I don't want it to be shiny. I want it to be black, and deepest dark. That's just the problem I'm having in the world. I hope that your problems are just as stupid. Okay. So, he has a expired passport, which is the drama of this episode. And so she's going to go to the Dominican Republic to kind of help him finish packing and then to escort him to the US so that if they try to give him any trouble, she can be there to help. Now, again, such an American point of view. Like, what is she going to do? If he gets through customs and they're like, nah, bruh, this Venezuelan expired what's she gonna do? Pull up the policy? The truth is that these people have control. And there is no amount of policy pulling or like evidence showing or paperwork, whatever. These folk are gonna hold you hostage regardless. And so I'm just so interested in what this girl is gonna do. What's she gonna do to customs? Can someone tell me what she gonna do to customs? Oh, thank you, Charlene. Everyone, Bobby Brown has a matte gel liner. I need to get into it. It's just because I don't gel. It's just like it's two pieces you have to carry around. Just want a nice liquid. But I understand I ought to do it because she will get the manager of customs. I mean, is she gonna just Karen the shit out of this? What is she gonna do? The manager of customs. I mean, I get it. She wants to probably be there to advocate for him and to speak for him. Maybe if he gets tripped up, he's only 23, he might not know what to say. But it's just so funny that she's like, I'm coming. I understand why she's going, and I'm not going to say that she shouldn't go. I'm not going to say that. But I just think it's funny that she's like, yeah, I'm going to escort him because he's got that expired passport, and I'm going to give them a piece of my mind if they don't let him into the country. We have got a K-1 visa. And somewhere on the internet, it says that the US is accepting expired Venezuelan passports. So y'all better let him in. So he tells us a little bit about his time in Venezuela and how it got really dangerous for him, which is why he came here. And also, I love the fact that he speaks English the way he does because he's already using like terms. Listen, I know you've heard me say it. I've been trying to learn Spanish for the better part of 20 years, and it's just difficult. Okay. I have a dumb brain and it won't sink in. I admire people who are polyglots. I admire people who learn English because English is one of the hardest languages to learn. Our English doesn't make any sense. Okay. Like no, there's two different ways to spell no. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense to know and to know, like thought through, like it's just a lot, right? The GHT that's silent, rough, that word doesn't make any sense. So when I hear people not only speak English but also use idioms or to say things, okay, it might sound cliche, but this is what I'm just always so in awe of those people. I'm always so, and so right at this point I'm in awe of him and his ability to come to the US and then be in a whole show. Cuz at the end of the day I'm going to talk shit about Miona, but she did the same thing too. She's like, once we get on our legs, which was the wrong idiom, but she understood that there was an idiom to be used and she just used the wrong word. It is like these people's brains are running at a different level than mine because I can't learn Spanish to save my life even though I'm surrounded by Spanish speakers, not in my house, but like in this state. Just crazy. But anyways, I'm always very respectful of those people who can learn another language. And these folk who are coming to the US, mad respect for that. Okay. That's the nicest thing I'm going to say about Biona. So he has airport. He goes to the airport. He brings flowers. They see each other. They kiss. And he brings a Prada bag. And I would like to know what's in that Prada bag. There's a little Prada bag he has. And I want to know what's in that Prada bag. I must be a gift for her. Tammy says immersion will do it. Live in Spain for a few months. Okay, all right. I would rather go to like a tropical place to learn Spanish. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that makes sense. Whew. I've recently learned that there are many Venezuela who grew up learning English and speak English at the same time. Oh, good for them. That's great. I forgot where I read it, but he cannot get it renewed because of political unrest in Venezuela. Yeah, that's what she said too, that it's almost impossible, or she alluded to that. Yeah, I agree. I think. Okay, so I think that's all I have to say about them. They're the ones that like a kind of a throwaway couple for me, and if their segments aren't interesting, I'll just breeze right over them. I'm not gonna stress myself out over them. So our last couple, are we done? Yes, our last couple are Emily and Kobe. This is the couple that I think have been getting a lot of press because she actually had this man's bebe. She's 29, he's 34. He is from Cameroon. If you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you'll understand where that comes from. Cameroon. And she is from Salina, not to be confused with Selena. She's from Salina, Kansas. And this girl was a rough and tumble. I mean, I could just see her just getting obliterated, blasted, drunk, and all over the world. Like she travels a lot. When she was in her 20s, she made a lot of poor decisions. Her family thinks that she is an absolute terrible decision maker. I mean, they sit around that dinner table and low-key read her. Just like, yeah, my sister's the wild one. Yeah, Emily has always been our child that is like kind of crazy. You haven't made good decisions in the past. And she's like, yeah, two of my exes are in prison right now. I'm kind of into bad boys. And so me going to China and getting pregnant, it's just par for the course, honestly. So she's in China teaching English. And she meets what's his face, Colby. Is it Colby or Kobe? What is it? Kobe. Oh, like Kobe Bryant. Great. She meets Kobe, and they have a whirlwind romance. He puts a ring on it, and so then they decide to be carefree with the sperm, and they get pregnant. And they get really excited about this pregnancy. They make a decision that they have to move home to Kansas in order to be able to take care of the child, and that he's going to go with her. But first, he stops off in Cameroon and gets stuck there because of COVID-19. So it's been 2 years. She done had that baby. He wasn't there. The baby's name is Coben. not to be confused with Kobe. And so Coben has never met his father actually, and Coben is just living his little life in Kansas with his mama. And she's still breastfeeding. I do love a woman who breastfeeds on camera. Normalize that shit. Free the nipple. But her family thinks that she is just like crazy. And also, there's a conversation where her father ends up telling her to not get pregnant again. And look at her mom, though. Look at this mother. Okay, let me pause. You know, I love it when a lady looks good on camera. And this mother said, you know what? I'm not wearing all the makeup, but you're going to get this lipstick. You're going to get my hair done. You're going to see these jewelries. You're going to see my cute little sunglasses. We don't see here. They're not brushing the horse in this scene. But come on, mom. Can we be camera ready? Oh, I love it. I love this. Love the mom. Love her already. Want to see more of her. Want to see all the jewelries and the necklaces that she got. Love it. So they're basically like, so my dad is like, I'm gonna have to pay all the bills, right? Because you both don't have any income coming in. And she's like, right. And I said, how you as a grown ass woman sat across your father at the dinner table, and when he says that he's gonna have to pay everything, you shake your head like, mm-hmm. What have you been doing for the last 2 years? I know that you were pregnant and had a baby, but was there not some like program you could have joined so that you could get your, I don't know, like medical uh billing degree or whatever? Like what have you been doing? Do you have stock in the family business? Do you guys raise horses and breed them and all that stuff? And so like you've been helping out on the ranch? Like I don't understand these folk who bring people to the US and then sit up in their parents' house. Now listen, if I had brought somebody to the US, we would have set up in my parents' house too, but I have a full job and I pay for things. So like I contribute to that. I contributed to the household. So it was my house. But when dad says, so I'm gonna have to pay all the bills, that like leads me to believe that Emily don't pay no bills. Now that's unacceptable. I understand living in a multi-generational household so that everybody can eat. I get that. Like that to me makes sense. But five people, five adults, in a house that only has one bathroom? Absolutely not. Five people are going to share a bathroom. Right now, four people share a bathroom. I don't even want to share a bathroom with one person. And if I did, we would definitely have to have two separate sinks and some kind of schedule. I mean, I, you knew you were going to bring this whole human being to this US of A. Not only are you bringing him to an area where there's not diversity, so him and his baby are going to be the only things darker than some wheat, and now you don't have a job, you don't have no savings, and then the dad's going to be like, "Oh, so what? How much money is he bringing?" And again, I don't know what the Cameroonian U.S. dollar exchange rate is, but he can go ahead and keep his little rubles or ruble. Then she's like, "Oh, he invested in a cafe," and the dad's like, "Okay, well, that doesn't seem like a good decision." And I'm like, maybe from his perspective, it is like maybe he invested in the cafe, and that his family will send him, I don't know, like 200 US every month. I don't know how much. I don't know how much it equates. But I just don't. I am uncomfortable with how I think that family is going to behave when Kobe gets there, because they are truly doubting him and his, like, what he's going to do. It's like they feel like he's just going to come and be a deadbeat dad, because they don't trust Emily so much that they also don't trust Kobe. And it's interesting to me that a lot of these couples, like Jabri and Emily, when it comes to like living with their families, you would think that this foreign person and the parents would have had conversations daily. Let me tell you this right now. If I ever get on tow 90 Day the Other Way, and I move to like, I don't know, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, I am going to be on the phone video chatting with that mother every day. ¿Cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? Oh, how are you feeling? Girl, I will be talking to that mother every day. I don't understand these folks who planning on sitting up in somebody's house and not talking to them every day. Why do they have such little faith in Kobe? Is he not talking to them every day, telling them his plans? Is he not talking to that dad every day, being like, "Yes, I'm gonna come and help you with the horses, or I'm gonna come and help you with the bales of hay"? Like, what is going on? What does Ramsterdam say? Ramsterdam says, I don't get it when these couples start their lives with weddings and kids and all, but have no idea on each other's life plans, how to raise the kids, where to raise the kids if they both want kids. I don't get it either. And I understand that this idea is like they love each other. I get it. But like there's also practical moments that we have to just like, you know, we just have to be practical. And they're not. They are not. I don't understand why she hasn't been working to at least get a new bathroom. Just get another bathroom. I mean, it doesn't have to be much. Just give me a shower and a toilet and a sink. But I can't share with 5 people or 4 other people. I can't do it. And they keep talking about that baby being crazy. That's a baby. Stop calling that baby crazy. That is a baby who is clearly just used to being pampered and taken care of. That is a one child in a house of 4 adults. That child is not crazy. That child, and I hate to use this word because I think it's a negative word, but that child is spoiled. And that's fine. That's fine. He wants his tata when he wants his tata, period, point blank. But he's not crazy. And if he is, it's y'all's fault. um, yeah. Anyways, that is it that I have. What are you guys saying? So sad, back-to-back meetings made me miss this. Aw, I'm sorry. Harriet Turner. Oh my God, Harriet Turner. That is hilarious. um, oh, unless that's your real name, it's still a great name. But Harriet, at first I was like, Tubman? No, Turner. I thought it was a play on words. Like Nat Turner and then Harriet Tubman. That's what I thought was happening. So if that is your real name, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I just thought you were trying to do like a Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner situation. Yeah, I'm really spoiled in California. We have great weather. The only thing we're not spoiled about is the cost of living, girl, because it's up here like crazy. He's a child, not an adult. Yeah, he's definitely the babies. The babies. The babies. I think and hope we're in for a good season. Me too, Lily. Me too. I think Muhammad and Yvette are going to add a little bit of spice. Muhammad and Yvette are the guy from Egypt and the woman from Albuquerque. I had a picture of them, but I guess it didn't make it in. And then we have these two, which I think are probably going to be the most interesting. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but they move in with her brother, and the brother is like doing the most. So this is another example of a man who truly isn't ready to have a woman come and live with him, but they do anyway, and then insanity ensues because of the mixing of the family dynamic and the expectation of the foreigner, because the foreigner has given everything up to come here, and then the Americans like, you should be grateful. So if I don't want to have those conversations, because I have them every single season, but I really hope that none of the Americans try to make the foreigner feel like they should be grateful, because they gave up everything. I mean, I'm sorry, if you're not living in I mean, it doesn't even matter where you're living, but I mean, like, if you were comfortable in where you were living in another country outside of the US, and you then drop everything to come to the US, you still gave up everything. Girl, I hope it's not as long as the last one. I'm telling you, 17 weeks, we didn't get any breaks. This is why I have to do these. I can't do edited videos for this season. I'm sorry, I cannot do it. It's too much. It is too much to edit these videos. I need a break every 3 weeks, and they don't be trying to give it to me. Oh, Soka Addict said it's Thais. Oh, Thais. I like that. I like that. Oh, okay, good, 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 good. Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner. Harriet Turner. Um, I wonder how all of these people with no job plan for a life and opportunity but love. But I have this and flexibility and no dates. I'm just like, the K1 visa is too much money for you guys to not have a plan. I mean, I'm trying to think if I would pay. I'm just gonna throw spitball. I think it costs like close to $7,000. That's a down payment on something, honestly. $7,000 to bring you to the US. I'm gonna need you to run me that money back. I'm gonna need you to run me my money back. But then we've got Ari and Benny, and it's like, do we need more of them? Ugh. I mean, I do want to see that baby though. I always want to see the baby. All right, you guys, I have to go eat. I'm starving like Marvin. But I hope you guys had a fun time chitty chatting with me. We'll do this every Monday. I'll go live and I'll talk about this show. I am always excited for the regular season of 90 Day Fiancé because we don't know these couples. It's a good opportunity to talk mess, you know? Um, and yeah. Hi, Lucy. Grown ass woman. Hi. Thanks, Lynn J. Please don't hurt yourself driving and texting at the same time. Okay, I'm tired. I gotta eat. Hey, have you guys heard this song called Drink Alone by Carrie Underwood? Is that her name? I just call her Carrie. Let me go find it. You remember her from American Idol? That girl can sing. Yeah, Carrie Underwood. Yeah, I'm a Carrie Underwood fan. Uh, I even love her football thing. Chris and I talk about it all the time. We saw her on her season of American Idol, and I've been a fan of her ever since. You know what I'm saying? Some hearts. I don't own any albums, but there are songs that I'm just like, come on, Cowboy Casanova, leaning up against the record machine. But anyway, she has a song called Drink Alone, and it's on her Cry Pretty album. And I said, okay, give us a little. I don't know what genre of music it is, but it isn't country, or it isn't the country music that I identify with country, and it's great. It's great. Abigail, and is that what the money is in Cameroon? Is francs? I mean, that makes sense, right? They're a French colonized country. Okay, babies. You have more than one? You want another baby? Good for you. Girl, my journey has been crazy. I have been recording myself talking about how I'm feeling. And so I'll give you guys an update here because I have to update the world anyway. I don't know why I thought I was going to be able to keep up with this IVF situation. It is a lot emotionally on me. But I thought I could, and it was, good old college try. Oh, yay, Danny. Congratulations. Gave it the good old college try. So had egg retrieval. They took 5 out. Only one of them was good. Merged it with the sperm. It lasted the 7 days or whatever. Then they did chromosomal testing, and the chromosomal testing was abnormal. So it's a no-go. I'm going to do this process all over again, do the injections and everything all over again in August. But also I was thinking about it and like, do I want to be pregnant at 40 on my 40th birthday? No. So I think that I won't do implantation if I do get a viable egg or embryo. I think I won't do implantation until next year, until 2023. Also, like, I need to save up, which I have been doing. I've been saving a lot of money. My aunt has been very gracious. And I need a house. Like I need a condo or something. I need my own space. That's what I need. I can't do any of this multi-generational household thing anymore. So those are my goal. My goal is to get a promotion at work so that I can afford said house. And then once I have the money I need to put a down payment, to go and put that down payment on so that I can move into a space solo dolo with the furniture that I want, the aesthetic that I like, my own bathroom, and I could raise a baby in peace, peacefully, without like the stress of people like telling me what I can and can't do in the house. So that's the plan. But I gotta get an embryo. So trying that. Was able to use 1 vial of sperm for these both ones. So they're saving the sperm for me for the next time. I need an embryo out of that because it just hurts my heart to pay $1,000 for sperm. And sperm is just out there flowing. Like men are just like giving it to whomever in a parking lot at a bar, one night stand nonsense. And I have to pay $1,000. Inshallah, indeed. God willing. God willing. I mean, have y'all ever had to pay for sperm? I don't recommend it. I don't feel like I should have to pay for it. And if so, I don't feel like it should be that expensive. Like, I know they do testing on it, and I know that they, make the man fill out all kinds of forms, and I know it. I know, I understand the process, but I'm just like, it's like somebody asks you for $1,100 for sperm. You know what I could do with $1,100? Whew. I give you my sperm if I was a guy. Wow, thank you. I just, it just, I, it, the, men are just out there, just like splooging all over the place, and I have to pay $1,000. Is that including tax? Yes. I mean, I think the total was like 11 something, and then they're gonna charge me $120 for shipping. I mean, I understand it's precious metal and precious material, but I mean, until you have to pay $1,100 for sperm, you just, it just don't sit well. It don't sit well with me. Thank you guys so much. That's what I'm saying. They just be out there giving it away. It's not tested. I'm just like, it's too much money. Anyways, I could do a whole video talking about having to pay for sperm. Eggs cost thousands more than sperm. Do they? I mean, because I'm gonna have to look into that too. My eggs are real weak, I was told. So that's hard to hear, you know? It's hard to hear that you don't have a lot left, B, and they're not the best quality. So I'm doing a regimen of vitamins, and I need to eat better. I need to lose weight and just kind of do things in general that like add to my overall health. No guarantees the vitamins are going to work. No guarantees on anything. But all I can do is my best. But that was the hardest thing to hear, was that my eggs were not the best. So, or Nick Cannon's. Oh, it's great. It's funny. It's funny. Don't take Drake. Don't take Drake's sperm. um, yeah, yeah. So, anyways, I have been kind of doing a video diary about those things. I just haven't edited and put it together to put on the other channel, but you'll have my thoughts. Okay. Egg donors get paid thousands for donations. Yeah, I have friends who did it in our 20s. They did get paid thousands. I think they got like, I think 5, 6,000, 7,000, 8. No, I think it was like 7 and 8,000. 20 years ago, they were getting paid that. 15 years ago, they were getting paid that. So I know that it is a lot. I know it just hurts me to pay for it. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for supporting me. If you'd like to give your girl a tip, you could do so with the options down below. I had some text messages, so that was maybe some of you doing a tip. I haven't checked it because I have it on Do Not Disturb. Oh, hard to know. Thank you so much. Hard to know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Y'all have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Thank you, hard to know. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah. All right. You guys have a fantastic week. Bye.